Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome here to race number 4 of the second season of the NASCAR Busch Series powered by the WRA. Ready for the fourth race of the season for the Busch Series drivers, coming off what was a very exciting race weekend last week at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Getting ourselves ready for 78 laps of racing. On the pole position is T Tupola. If you didn't tune into our pole day qualifying show yesterday, as Danny Johnson joined me for qualifying, Tula comes into this race as I look here at the points table. Dropped 6 spots down to ninth in the standings, alongside of Dylan Ibrahimian in the 5. Dylan comes into this race 28th in points. He's only 2 points ahead of the 30th in the standings cut line to stay locked in. London Jackson in row number 2, 14th in the standings, and Rosalinda Masterson comes into this race in that critical 30th position in the points. And we'll see what the 54 is going to do here today. As I have the guy who will be starting, hopefully it won't be unlucky 13, but he'll be starting 13th in tomorrow afternoon's Winston Cup race. It's Senor Sean. Will you cut that out? Yes. Sean will join me because he wants to go ahead and cause carnage in the 78 lap race, if you ask me. As you saw the rest of the starting lineup for this afternoon's race, let's get these cars moving. Oh, somebody is going a bit slowly. That was the 94 of Addison Peterson. Took part in our truck race yesterday, going a little slowly. Got to keep an eye on the 94 here, making sure there's no issues on the car, or else that will be a wave off. Looks like the 94, looks like she's going to be okay. As we're coming to take the green flag, points table coming in this race are as follows. Daniel Gitiroyk, the rookie and overall points leader, as something's going on with Dylan Ibrahimian for some reason, but he's not going to make it to pit road. As this is not what we needed at the start. Green flag's in the air, we're underway, but the 5 can't make it to pit road. So problems for the 5, and I think he crossed the line. Yes, he did, so he will count. We're underway here at Phoenix. Apparently, the 5 had a problem, was trying to get the pit road, but he couldn't. We were coming to take the green. Has that brought out the caution? Caution's out. And it's for Mohammed Zain. I hadn't even gone over the top 10 in the points, and the caution's out. Yep, we've had a wreck because of that stack up that Ibrahimian caused. In the words of Senor Sean, that didn't take long. Ari Springer got collected in whatever this incident was. And it looks like it was a tire, I believe, went down on the 5, but that was a cluster trying to get going. So caution's out for the first time today on lap number 1. Let's jump back, look at the replay to see what happened. This was on the start of the race. See, Ibrahimian was trying to get the pit road, but he couldn't because the 19 was in the way. And yeah, he missed pit road. And as soon as he comes and takes the green, backs the 11 up. Nothing the 11 could done, and then that causes a major stack-up effect, which we're trying to figure out how the 8 car got involved. Of course, Addison also didn't get going, because remember, she was slow getting off the grid. Looks like the 38 ran the back of the 20. Michael Brown, Olivia Jackson, that's what spun the 8 car and sent it in the outside retaining wall. Did a little bit of damage on the Bass Pro Shop Chevrolet. But not the way you want to start off this race. I wonder if Addie's got some issues, like something let go in the car or something. But that is a tough break for Addison Peterson. The caution's out for the first time today. Let's jump to the restart here at Phoenix. Green flag going to go back in the air on lap number 6 of 78. We're still in the early stages of this race, so let's try this restart. Hopefully, we don't have any issues. Tupola is the leader. Alex Winters second. Rosalinda Masterson third. Courtney Lynn, you will see her tomorrow in the Winston Cup race. In fourth, Simon Oskin fifth. Phelan Bradley in sixth. Failed to make the Winston Cup race, so this will be his only start of the weekend. Z Allsopp seventh. London Jackson eighth. Quentin Moore ninth. L Grubius will complete the top 10. We will also see L Grubius in tomorrow's Winston Cup race. Out of the race after that, Ari Springer with engine trouble as they diagnosed the engine blew up. And unfortunately, they had to push the Altel Dodge back behind the wall. That is a tough break for Ari Springer. Addison Peterson did come to pit road to resolve whatever the issue is on that 94. As we're going to go back to green flag racing here today at Phoenix. Green flag back in the air. Looks like everybody is going to be up to speed, hopefully. Before that caution was coming out, I was trying to go over the points table, which unfortunately the incident with the 5 did not let me go over the points. So let's try that again, shall we? Daniel Gitiroyk was your points leader by 12 points over K Langeland Bora Park. Mohammed Zain, who got spun and got a little bit of damage on the back end of his machine. He was, by the way, 4th in the points, 16 points back. J.J. Palmer is 5th. Abigail Stone 6th. Samad Oskin 7th. Emily Green, Tula Tupola, Ashlyn Wright. That was your top 10 in the standings. So 4th in the points has already ran into trouble. As you see, Rosalinda Masterson comes into this race in that critical 30th position in the points. So she needs a good run to stay away from 30th in the standings if she wants to be locked into next week's race at Auto Club Speedway. By the way, Cody Smart, who just joined the VC, he'll be starting 18th in tomorrow afternoon's Winston Cup race. You'll see that right here on the Blue Hedgehog TV at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we've already mentioned Senor Sean will be starting 13th in tomorrow afternoon's race. Sean, by the way, is a perfect 3-0 against Jesse. Jesse Art has failed to qualify for both this race today and tomorrow's Winston Cup race. So Jesse Art, the struggles for that 12 team continue. So I'm really not sure what's going on over at Fitz Bradshaw Racing, why she's really struggling this season, and she's going to continue. She ended up free falling through the points again. And hopefully Jesse Art will try to figure some things out going into next week's race at Auto Club. Courtney Lynn running in the 4th position. Made tomorrow afternoon's Winston Cup race for her second start of the season. She will be starting P14 tomorrow. She outqualified her team owner, Nathan Orman. So very good job by her. Car in the wall, that was Xavier Allsopp. We are going to stay under the green. A lot of right side damage on the McDonald's Chevrolet. I didn't bring this up, but I'll do this now. We didn't have any pit stops in the Truck Series race here yesterday. We're going to have pit stops in the Busch race today. Trouble for Callie Springer, as she has fallen a lap down. There she is. Let me see. Oops, that's not the camera angle. It's like she made an unscheduled pit stop, so it's like a flat tire. Right front tire went down on the Jana King Dodge. There's Luna Farmer. We'll see her tomorrow afternoon as she'll be in the Winston Cup race. We got a wreck. We got a wreck on the front stretch. It's the points leader, Daniel Gitiroyk. A lot of damage to the left front of the AC Delco Chevrolet. Has that brought out the caution? It has not. Tyler Ware's in trouble. Billy Kitchen. Oh, we got a big crash. Big crash. Michael Brown, Addison Peterson. That for sure is going to bring the caution out. That for sure is a caution. Good grief. Billy Kitchens, Michael Brown, who was making his debut. You can go away. Jacob Foster got a piece of it. Addison Peterson involved. But the points leader has been collected. Look at the damage to the left front of the AC Delco Chevrolet of Gitiroyk. It looks like everybody is going to come to pit road. I believe this is going to be for their... I don't know if they can make it. I don't think they can make it the rest of the way. They're going to take lap 16, so they're going to have to pit one more time before this race is over. But while they're making pit stops, let's jump back a little replay. First, let's see what didn't bring out the caution, and then we'll take a look and find out what did bring out the caution here at Phoenix. This is what didn't bring out the yellow. Watch the 77 of Romero. As looks like Gitiroyk got a bit loose, and Romero just couldn't hang on, just couldn't do anything, and pounded the left front fender of the AC Delco Chevrolet. Then what happens to Tyler Ware in the 81? Oh, the engine the engine let go. And this is going to cause a stack-up effect. When, let's see, the 2 is trying to get up to speed, or trying to get back in line. Okay, contact between the 9 and the 37 started this one. That was because of Gitiroyk, who was trying to get going. Oh, one of the Amirmoezes, that's why Michael Brown ran the back of the, that was the 15. There's a shot by Billy Kitchens there. That was E Amirmoez, who, by the way, got rear-ended. Addison Peterson got some damage on the Busch Dodge. She ran the back of Michael Brown, trying to avoid the accident. And then Michael Brown's going to hit the Wolf Pontiac of Emily Green. Kyle Langeland got a little side swipe on the left side. And, of course, he's got some right side damage on the Dr. Pepper Dodge. So already drivers that are running well in points really having trouble. And this is going to have a points shakeup heading into next week's race at Auto Club, as we're going to head to the restart here at Phoenix.
Yeah. I'm just thinking some things right now, and I said I'm going to do the tally from fourth, so I already made it.
You mean from last? Oh, by the way, we're back. We're heading back to green on lap number 19 of 78. I was telling Cody, I don't know if he's made the tally for Gateway, which we will be going into Gateway, I believe, later in the season. For anyone asking.
Yeah, I haven't made the tally for Gateway, but producer's on is they have to let the finishing ass anymore.
Yeah. But Quinton Moore won the battle off pit road. He is the leader. We'll document the drivers out of the race in just a second. T Tupola is second. Alex Winters third. Salman Ozkan fourth. Phelan Bradley fifth. London Jackson sixth. Courtney Lynn seventh. Alex Romero eighth. Harrison Jenkins ninth. 10th is Bora Parks. By the way, if Cody's not aware, he will have his... He will be racing with the other Bradley sibling, even though she failed to qualify. Carolina Bradley will be making her Winston Cup debut tomorrow afternoon, which Cody's very excited about.
I keep an eye on them every now and then. I just don't stick around often anymore because, like, retirement from team ownership, it just feels good.
Yeah. We only had one retiree. 4 drivers are now out of the race. Addison Peterson, what a shame for her. Was really looking forward to building off a good debut last week. Unfortunately, out of the race from that big wreck. Michael Brown out of the race after he was involved in that big wreck. Caution's out again. Looks like the 40's going to get one of her laps back. Tyler Ware had a piston failure, and Billy Kitchens out of the race. They joined Ari Springer back behind the wall. Third yellow already just after the restart. and it's Shakes McDaniel involved. K Langeland, Bora Park involved, along with Jamie Bodine. Who's that? Oh, Courtney Lynn's involved. Futaba Sakura also collected. Harrison Jenkins. Will you cut that out? Brenda Evelyn, Olivia Jackson also involved. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. We've already had more cautions in this race than we had yesterday. We're going to jump back, look at the replay to see what in the world happened to those drivers. Because of the back straightaway covered in debris, race officials have thrown the red flag. Courtney Lynn was trying to go on the outside. I think thinks she was clear. Unfortunately, her spotter didn't tell her she was clear, didn't realize the 77 was there, and it was too late. Harrison Jenkins involved. It just cluttered turns 3 and 4. Brenda Evelyn runs in the Courtney Lynn. Olivia Jackson, Ashlyn Wright involved, top 10 in the points. Got a piece of it, just clogs up the track. Look at the cars involved. So one car got a piece of it. Everybody else tried to avoid the wreck. J.J. Palmer, a lot of damage on the Mr. Clean Car Wash Chevrolet. I think he's going to run into Jacob Foster. Yep. So Jacob's got damage to the rear end of his Pet Brands Dodge. Mohammed Zain, second time he's been involved in an incident here. Olivia Jackson got put on her roof by, let's see who it was. I think it might have been Sakura. Yep, it was. Oh, and it was the 9 that hit the 18. That's what sent the 38 upside down. And I talked about a lot of drivers who came in running very well in the points. Did not need something like this to happen to them. And this is going to be a major point shakeup heading into next week's race at Auto Club. As the red flag has been lifted, the yellow is out for the third time today. Let's get to the restart here at Phoenix. That was a big size wreck as we're back to green on lap number 24 of 78, excuse me. Quentin Moore is the leader. T Tupola is second. S Ozkan in third. Fourth is Alex Winters. Valen Bradley running very well in his debut. He is fifth. London Jackson sixth. Alexander Romero is seventh. Gabe Litton is eighth. Rosalinda Maston ninth. And Luna Farmer will complete your top 10. Drivers out, and there are a lot of them. J.J. Palmer, Bora Park, K Langeland, Shakes McDaniel, Brenda Evelyn, Courtney Lynn, Olivia Jackson, all out of the race. They join Addison Peterson, Michael Brown, Tyler Ware, Billy Kitchens, and Ari Springer, all back behind the wall and out of the race. Back to green here at Phoenix. T Tupola has now taken the race lead. As get her off the back here in 27, checking the rear of the field. Ashlyn Wright did not make the Winston Cup race for tomorrow First DNQ for her in the Cup side. But props for her going 3 for 3 before her first DNQ of the year. Of course, next week we're going to have the last race where we're going to have the top 35 in play. Somebody's blown up. Ah, that's Phelan Bradley from 5th. Ah. That's a shame for Phelan Bradley. Was having a good run. Fortunately, that's going to come to an end. Contact between Cervantes and Farmer. So Cody Smart's driver's continuing to have a pretty bad day, if you ask me. Of course, Ibrahimian is not the race leader. He is not on the lead lap. He's actually the last car on the lead lap. So he's not the race leader. T Tupola is. So tough break for a lot of drivers who really needed some good results. Unfortunately, not going to get them. As they still got the hood up on the 09, as they have not pushed that car back behind the wall. A lot of drivers gonna fail the pit. Excuse me. Don't know why I'm getting tired. It's like 09 still on pit road. As they have dropped the jack stands on the 09, it is a gearbox failure. So now the 09 is now done for the day. So that's a tough break for Phelan Bradley as they're going to push that car back behind the wall now the race. As Dylan Ibrahimian's about to go a lap down. So Phelan Bradley, who was running in the top 5 when we were going back to green. Excuse me. A lot of drivers going to fail to finish this race. Gitiroyk is now, as Ibrahimian's trying to get his lap back. The problem is they're going to be lapping the 2 and the 37 shortly. As Futaba had removed on her machine. Mohammed Zain. So I was going to check here. Yeah, look at the front end on that Bass Pro Shop Chevrolet, where it's creating some bit of downforce on that 8 machine. as we are starting to get into a nice green flag run. Of course, Courtney Lynn didn't get a lot of experience to help her out for tomorrow afternoon's Winston Cup race. Of course, if you're Luna Farmer, you're trying to get some experience that could help you out for tomorrow afternoon's Cup race. Coming up to the halfway point of this race. Jacob Foster, all that damage. He's still up in the top 15. Good job for him. On board Lauren Grubius in the 43. Lauren Grubius is 24th in the points. Dropped 5 spots after last week's race at Las Vegas, running in 13th, having a solid run. Lauren Grubius will take part in tomorrow afternoon's Winston Cup race. She'll be starting on the outside of the front row and be the highest rookie driver as far as that is concerned. Good job as we're on board Kelly Springer. Just staying on board with these drivers. Leela Mackay, London Jackson, Samad Ozkan. Now back up front with Tula Tupola. We're going to go in the cockpit view, see what it's like about how handling could be a factor. See, when Tula got his car a little tight there. Of course, remember, Tula doesn't have clean air because of the 5 car getting in the way. Remember, the 5 is not for position. The 5 car is on the last car of the lead lap. As we're finally settling into a long green flag run for once. Just past the halfway point of this race. Danny Johnson hit the nail on the head yesterday when we were talking about these drivers during pole day qualifying. Is that, Phoenix is a really abrasive track. Of course, this is the older Phoenix we're using. We're not using the new Phoenix. We're using the very older Phoenix. Of course, the sun is out. It's in the 70s, supposed to be upper 80s for tomorrow afternoon's Winston Cup race. They qualified in 100 degrees for pole day qualifying earlier today. Had a weak front come through, dropped the temperatures down in the 70s. Now it's in the upper 80s. We had some had a brief shower, but nothing that would wash all the rubber off from the truck race to this race. The other thing you also need to add out is that Cody and Sean, who just got out of their Winston Cup car for pole day qualifying, they put a lot more rubber on the track, and grip might have been a factor because the more rubber we've seen in the Cup qualifying might have had a lot of changes for these Busch cars. Tula Tupola, who ran most of the second half of the season last season, with the same number. Now it's out of Joe Gibbs Racing. Samad Ozkan, as the 19's trying to put the 5 back 1 lap down. But remember, they are catching the 2 of Gitiroyk and also the 18 of Sakura, who was also involved in that first caution. And of course, we've had 3 cautions today versus the 2 we had in yesterday's Truck Series race. Hopefully, this will be the sign of things to come for tomorrow's Winston Cup race. That will be dealing with sunny conditions and a lot warmer temperatures, as I said. As Ibrahimian just trying to get back on the lead lap, but being a pest to the 19. You see all the drivers out of the race. Up to this point, London Jackson in third position. This has brought her and Alex Winters up into the mix. London's had a quiet start to the year, 14th in the points. Alex Winters, you can say ditto for her, even though she dropped 8 spots down to 12th in the points. As they have also caught Emily Green, who is now 1 lap down as a result. Of course, remember, she was involved in 2 laps down, excuse me. She was already 1 lap down. And of course, Callie Springer, who just got her lap back to be 1 lap down. She's fighting with Ibrahimian for position to get back on the lead lap. But next week, if Cody and Sean have not heard, starting next week at Auto Club, I will be doing the lucky dog to give drivers back on the lead lap. As we have a quacking duck in the field. And Ibrahimian gets his lap back, but he's just being a mobile chicane. I understand he's trying to get back on the lead lap, but he's really not doing himself any favors with the officials and with the leaders, who are getting sick and tired of repassing him left and right. Another thing that's also going to be into play is that if any driver is not up to speed, we can also, the officials will have the ability to park that said driver to prevent having a big wreck, if you know what I mean. So, going to be interesting, if you ask me. Now, here's the question that I think a lot of people are going to be bringing up. And this is a good chance, for like Luna Farmer, who's in this race, Lauren Grubius, who's also in this race. What can they learn from today with fuel mileage? Because remember, these drivers pitted all the way back on lap number 16 or whatnot. They cannot make it the rest of the way on fuel if this sucker stays clean and green. They will have to come to pit road at some point because the fuel window is 47 to 49 laps. Well, as soon as I say that, Quentin Moore just fell a lap down. Is he on pit road? Oh, he's got a problem. Quentin Moore's got a problem. Not sure what's up with the 89. And remember, Quentin had a mechanical problem. They fixed whatever the issue was. And he ended up qualifying 5th, which is pretty good for Q-Man. Wonder if this is a pit stop. This is unscheduled. Did he already come to pit road? Yeah, apparently he came to pit road. He's come back to pit road. I think a lug nut might have not been on there tight. That's going to cost Quentin Moore another position. Looks like we're having pit stops. Yes, pit stops. So this answered my question. Are they going to have to make pit stops to make it the rest of the way? Looks like the answer is yes. Simon Oskin will stay out. He will inherit the lead, but he will have to come to pit road at some point. And Dylan Ibrahimian's coming to pit road, so Ibrahimian's going to be 1 lap down nevertheless. So this answers the question. These drivers were not going to make it the rest of the way. And Lauren Grubius, I believe, stayed out. But of course, Grubius getting those extra 78 laps. Remember, tomorrow's Winston Cup race is going to be 110 laps. And Grubius is the leader, so that's a lap lead for Grubius. So Ibrahimian is now 1 lap down. He'll more than likely stay a lap down because he did come to pit road. Cervantes is in. Has Ashlyn Wright. Yeah, Ashlyn Wright's coming to pit road. Remember, Ashlyn running a blue car this week on her yellow Dodge. And I think this will cycle the lead back over to T Tupola. And she's trying to get around Daniel Gitiroyk. Looks like that's not going to be a problem. Remember, Gitiroyk came in this race as your points leader. I just got a message in the president's chat. Oh, and I'm probably going to get yelled at in the president's chat. Hold on.
Someone's going to get you in the president's chat for that one, no problem.
So it is going to be the... Oh, no! The 32 is leading. I thought the 19 was the leader. Morgan Le Fay is the leader. How about that for the 32 out of Braun Racing? What a gutsy call for the Convoy of Hope Chevrolet. And let's see, she came in this race 11th in points, dropped 5 spots. What a big call for Morgan Le Fay. And Bakai, Cody's favorite driver that he likes to mispronounce, is in second, believe it or not.
Here we go again.
And remember, Bakai is a go-or-go-homer, just an FYI. And Morgan Le Fay, who, like I said, fell out of the top 10, this could put her right back in the top 10 just like that. Quentin Moore is a lap down. Remember, he had to come back to pit road. Think we were being told a lug nut was not on there tight, so he came back to pit road, had to tighten it, but that's costed him a lap. Ibrahimian, who is being a pest with the leaders, is now still 1 lap down, so I doubt he's going to get back on the lead lap unless we get another caution involving the leaders. It looks like Callie Springer only made up that 1 lap she made up of the 2 that she lost. And unfortunately, she is not going to recover. And I don't know where this is going to situate her as far as the points are concerned going in the Auto Club next week. So Carolina Bradley, who failed to qualify for the Busch race, I don't know what she's going to learn, that she's not in this race, because if she would have made this race, she would have had something to learn that could help her for tomorrow's Winston Cup race. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen. But a gutsy call by the 32 of Morgan Le Fay to do the undercut on Samad Ozkan. Same with the 31. And now they're 1-2 just like that. course, Jacob Foster was 46th in the points, and with a lot of drivers ahead of him in the points. Excuse me there. With a lot of drivers ahead of him in points that D and Q'd, we're going to have to see where this is going to situate him in the standings. As my Charger's acting like a stupid idiot for some reason. It's on the Charger, and then it decided, oh no, I don't want to be on the Chargers. Oh no, we're going to hit this number in a minute. That number between 68 and 70. So I should say my line. Dad, as we're inside of 10 to go, by the way. I didn't say that number, you derp. Unless you whacked Brody with it.
Yeah, that's also another good idea, because he was being a bozo earlier, trying to cheer for Duke. Brody,
oh, and my Hedgehog kids are home from school as I'm recording this race, by the way. So they didn't want to interrupt me during my commentary, so they just gave me a wave, so I'm just waving at them.
yeah, at least they don't leak up like the Baltimore Ravens.
Well, they know I'm recording a race as of this recording, so they're being respectful. At least Sonia would have done the same thing to you, Cody.
Yeah, I'm just saying, because of that 99% chance for Ravens to win. Oh, good Lord.
Muhammad Zain, after getting involved in that first caution, he's currently in 21st, about to be the last car on the lead lap. A good run for Morgan Le Fay. Remember, this is one of Sean's. Well, this is the only driver from Sean's team to date. So Morgan Le Fay looking for her first career win in the Busch Series. Of course, this race, oh, should I remind you this? As caution's out. I was getting ready to say, you know who won this race last season? The car that Morgan Le Fay's driving, the 32. But the yellow flag is out. This is going to change. Sellers is out. But what's the caution for? That's the question mark. As we're going to be having a single file restart, we're going to have 21 drivers now on the lead lap. Caution's out. Let's jump back, look at a replay to find out what brought out the caution here at Phoenix late in this race. So it was an engine problem on the 46 of Marcus Sellers, as he was battling with T Tupola, was running 5th at the time, and then kablamo. Something mechanical happened on the number 46. And that's a tough break for Marcus Sellers in the 46, who was trying to get himself back in the top 30. Or actually, let me look. He was actually back in the top 30 with a good run last week, 22nd in points. I don't know where this is going to situate him after today. I believe when he didn't come to pit road, the officials had no choice but to throw the caution out because he was in the middle. He was right on the racetrack, didn't get off the track, and the officials had no choice but to throw the caution. So that was probably the wise decision. And that was definitely not the caution that this gal wanted to see Morgan Le Fay, because this will cause a restart, which we're going to head to the restart right now.
Makes sense.
Well, boys and girls, we have a green-white checker. It will be green first, then the white, then the checker. If the leader takes the white flag, the caution comes out, we'll race back. If the caution comes out, the race is over. As Morgan Le Fay is the leader, Lila Bakai is second, Saman Ozkan third, T Tupola fourth. Good run for London Jackson in fifth, Alex Winters sixth, seventh Xavier Allsopp, Lauren Grubius, Rosalinda Masson, and K Amirmoez complete the top 10. By the way, for anyone that doesn't know, Cody Smart already announced this season of Winston Cup will be his last, as he will retire as a driver at the end of the season of season 2. So he will have somebody from the Busch Series replace him. We do not know who that driver is. We'll find that out as Marcus Sellers is out of the race with a valve issue and will join the rest of the drivers back behind the wall. Green flag back in the air as we're having a green-white checker as the 5's underneath the 31. That might have just sealed it right there, unless the 7 wants to be a bozo and pass the 32, but we'll see about that. The problem is the 5, that is not for position. The 7 is for position. As here we come to the white flag. One more lap to go. Sponsored by Credit One Bank. Summit Ozkan underneath the 5, but as I said, that is not for position. That might have just sealed it right there as Morgan Le Fay down the back straightaway for the final time. I was going to say the 32 went to victory lane with Bart Simpson last season, which was his first career win. Well, Morgan Le Fay makes the 32 go 2 for 2. Morgan Le Fay is going to win at Phoenix International Raceway. As she takes the, I forgot to tell you the title of this race, the United Rentals 200. Great job for Morgan Le Fay, who fell out of the top 10 in the points last week at Las Vegas. She just might have put herself right back in to the top 10 in the points, leaving today's race. Good job to that number 32 machine. Standings are now official. Summit Ozkan will be the highest rookie driver, finishing in second. Great run for Leela Bakai in third, London Jackson in fourth, and Lauren Grubius in fifth. What did she learn today that will help her for tomorrow's Winston Cup race? We will find that out tomorrow, if you know what I mean. Xavier Allsopp got 6th, Tula Tupola 7th, Alex Winters, Rosalinda Masterson. And we talked about Lauren Grubius, good run for her to build for tomorrow's Cup race. You could say the same thing for Luna Farmer, who will be making her second consecutive start in the Winston Cup Series tomorrow afternoon. She comes home in the 10th position. K Amirmoez 11th, Carson Miller 12th. Great run for Carson Miller. Ricky Cervantes 13th. Jacob Foster was involved in that second caution of the event, had some rear end damage. He comes all the way back for 14th. Ditto for E Amirmoez, who finishes in 15th. Harrison Jenkins 16th. Ashlyn Wright, Jamie Bonine, Gabe Lipton was the last driver to finish on the lead lap in 19th. A lot of drivers really didn't have a good day today at the Phoenix International Raceway. As you look on down to the remainder of the finishing results, Daniel Gitiroyk, 26, one lap down, got involved in an incident, never recovered. He was your points leader, by the way, coming into this race. The good news for Gitiroyk, the guy that was trying to run him down for the points lead, K Langeland, second in points out of the race. Abigail Stone finished 5 laps down. Not entirely sure what was up with Abigail Stone. Tough break for her. The rest of these drivers did not even reach the conclusion. 14, as a matter of fact. Marcus Sellers, Phelan Bradley, due to mechanical failure. Tough break for them. And here's the worst part is they were running 5th at some point in this race before they had mechanical problems. So really a shame for them. The rest of these drivers were out of the race due to that big wreck we had, excluding Ari Springer, was out with an engine. Same with Tyler Ware. J.J. Palmer out of the race. Bora Park out of the race. Kyle Langeland out of the race. Shakes McDaniel out of the race. Brenda Eveling out of the race. Courtney Lynn out of the race. Not good for Courtney Lynn. She didn't learn a lot today that could help her for tomorrow's Cup race, which that's a shame for her. Olivia Jackson out of the race. Addison Peterson out of the race. Shame that she's out of the race after getting that car in the show for the second week in a row. Michael Brown out of the race. Tyler Ware, Billy Kitchens, Ari Springer. Those 14 did not reach the conclusion of the races. They will finish 29th through 42nd. But congratulations to Morgan Le Fay on the victory here today. I want to remind everybody this copyrighted broadcast is presented by the authority of the World Racing Association, the Blue Hedgehog TV, for the private use of our audience. Any reproduction or rebroadcast or retransmit or any other disseminations or the use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the World Racing Association is prohibited. Blue Hedgehog TV and the World Racing Association want to thank you fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast. Hope you guys enjoyed today's race here at Phoenix. This is going to be a point shakeup. We will definitely tell you that for sure. If you guys enjoyed this race, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the World Racing Association crew today. We've shown your full finish results. Your points table will be down in the description. Your points, that is, heading into next week at Auto Club Speedway. We got one more race to finish up this race weekend. Tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m. or at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll wrap up our Phoenix race weekend with the Winston Cup Series drivers for the United Rentals 500 here at Phoenix. For Cody Smart, Sean Art, Danny Johnson, who joined me earlier today or joined me at some point for qualifying, and our studio engineer, Caleb Hobbs. I'm Dean DeVos. Thank you for joining me here today and saying good night from Avondale, Arizona, here in Avondale, as we congratulate Morgan Le Fay on her first Busch Series win of her career. Coming up next, we'll rejoin the Infinity Network Sports Studios programming already in progress. We will talk to you all tomorrow. You've been watching the World Racing Association of Grace Racing since 2013.